Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see in the title of this video, we will be focusing for a moment on the entire drone situation. And the reason for it is about 2 days ago, I've missed an article that came out in Polish media that says that one of those Russian drones that arrived in Poland was actually not a drone. So I'm going to read you this, and I will also take you to the video that has been posted with this title on Times of India. You know, I am not a huge fan of this news. However, as far as the news channel or news portal. However, once in a while, you know, they bring some cool stuff. So I'm going to use this title for my video, quoting Times of India, if anyone in Polish government is interested in. Because this title says NATO stage Poland drone incident to kick off war with Russia? ? Sensational reveal amid tensions. We're going to start with this roof situation, because this roof is exactly the roof that I will be focusing on for the next few minutes. And also, let me remove this. I will bring to you some interesting video about the fake King Charles, because if you think this is the real King Charles, then I just leave you with that. What is he doing? How interesting this creature, this being is. We will look into this in a second, but I would like to start on a serious note with huge thank you to, let me go through the names, Michelle, Philip, I think Georgetta I mentioned yesterday. So Michelle and Philip, for your donations on PayPal yesterday, and I welcome, I think, 1 or 2 new Patreon members. I will bring the names of Patreon members in the following videos, in the next video. So guys, where shall we start? Let's start with this drone that was not a drone. The article is from, I think, about 2 days ago. This is pretty cool, huh? And I will tell you my opinion about all of this situation after we read this. So it says, didn't a drone hit the house in Wyryki, the name of the place? The prosecutor office points to something else. This is actually from 4 days ago, but I just heard about this. Excuse me. The district prosecutor's office in Lublin denied that it was the drone that hit a residential building in Wyryki in the Lublin region. So you see this here, the same roof that we will be soon seeing in the video, the same house. There was a serious damage to a house there at night when Russian, because, you know, they still have to write, Russian drones flew into Polish territory. On the night of Tuesday to Wednesday, a dozen or so Russian drones flew into Polish territory. Most of them are theoretically harmless Gerbera decoys that could not have caused much damage. However, some of the objects were shot down by aviation. The most serious situation occurred in Wyryki in the Włodawa district in the Lublin region. Initial reports indicated that the droned drone fell on a residential building, causing enormous damage. Fortunately, no one was hurt. So they are referring to this one unlucky drone that, as we will learn from this article, was not a drone, that allegedly destroyed this roof. Can I just say that there are some comments circulating that some of the residents in this area, the neighbors, were saying that this roof has been damaged before by the wind, very heavy, very strong wind that went through that region. But again, allegedly, I'm just quoting what some people are saying, but let's continue. The incident in Wyryki Wola in the Włodawa district concerns an unidentified flying object that caused the destruction of, for example, a residential house. At the moment, the object has not been identified as either a drone or its fragments. Yeah, explains Jolanta Dębiec from the district prosecutor office in Lublin. So what hit the building? The Lublin 112 portal, so the local newspaper in that region, from that region, presented a puzzling hypothesis. In an interview with Nowy Tygodni, Tomasz Kawiak explains that at some point he saw a fighter flying very low, which turned back after a while. Immediately afterwards, he heard another sound from the east, growing metallic, reminiscent of an approaching scooter. In his binoculars, he clearly saw a large drone. After a while, the fighter turned around and headed for the drone. He lowered his flight and released a rocket towards him, but the missile missed. So there is a hypothesis that it was the rocket fired by the pilot that hit the building. Reads the portal. However, it is necessary to wait for the publication of the official results of the investigation to resolve this issue. So I will just save your time. The official results that will be announced is that the drone was the drone and it was from Russia. And it was not a missile or something else or whatever, the rocket or whatever, the one that was trying to shoot the drone that actually destroyed the roof. It was for sure the drone that came from Russia that was a drone, nothing else, that destroyed the roof. The question is, who's gonna pay those people for the damages they have? And you're gonna see more of the damages. I think their car have been damaged as well. You will see in a second. So now, let's play this video. I'm telling you guys, this, and I will tell you before we go, okay? Before we go to this video from Times of India, I will tell you one thing. Of course, the same narrative in every media channel that they can, sponsor, pay for, etc. It's going on. We know this. But there is something that is a good news. Something has happened. And I have to admit, I'm a bit surprised, but I am glad that I am surprised in a nice way, because bigger and bigger part of the Polish population is not buying this BS. And I'm witnessing this, looking at the comments, because majority of people who are being bombarded with this Russian drone news is not buying the story. Even if you see the comments from people who are believing this, I think a lot of those comments are actually bots, is artificial intelligence. I'm not saying all of them. There are some people who still believe it. But the good news is that people are literally waking up and they are not buying this. They're questioning absolutely everything. So now let's go to this video. And I'm just quoting the Times of India. What was the plan? It failed again. Nothing new. The level of desperation they are having to create some tension. No one is buying this. No one is buying this. So let's look at it. It's almost like, it's like Muppet Show. I'm going to turn off the sound. So here we go. This is the same roof. Polish drone incident. A NATO hoax to target Russia. Here we go. On the field, you remember Polish farmer, the smart guy? Drone strike in Poland is staged to pressure Russia. This is the title. Some guy talking from NATO. Poland not conducting a proper probe to avoid truth. Lost in space, huh? Political analysts drop bombshell on the recent drone fall incident in Poland. It's not a bombshell, we know it, it's common sense. They claim the incident was clearly a provocation orchestrated with Ukrainian assistance. And they are standing just like waiting for what? This in order to push anti-Russian measures. Sputnik reported citing, what's his name? Sorry, too fast. Citing Piotr Kolchin. This is the lady. Oh, by the way, this is the owner of the house. This is her car, Citroen, right? And it got destroyed too, you see? Who's gonna pay those people for this? I'm sure insurance doesn't cover against the Russian drones. Kiev has often created media hype out of nothing in the past, Kolchin suggested. Look, you see? Always regular folks people are suffering. Per Piotr Kolchin drone incident was a new hoax by Ukrainian intelligence. It's like never-ending story, la la la. Oh my goodness, here we go. He claimed the incident served to increase pressure on Vladimir Putin administration. The affair also provided a pretext for boosting European defense spending. So let's pause here for a moment. I don't know if you remember that the same day, if not the day after, I think it was the same day when Ursula the Witch was having her speech, her spiel at the European Parliament, trying to convince everyone to spend more money and not to produce anything that actually people need, but just to produce the weapons and focus on the militarization, right? So this was the justification, you know. I mean, come on, guys, we know this. Spend more money. Just print it out, man. You have more money. Kolchin said US President Donald Trump's reaction showed NATO divisions because Trump said it had been the accident. Or mistake. He said it was a mistake. He argued Washington wants peace while Europe prefers prolonging conflict. So the British Empire, and we're going to go into it in a second, Poland is reluctant to conduct a proper investigation of the incident. Isn't it interesting? So kind of deja vu moment from that Przewodów situation in which about, 3 years ago, the rocket from Ukraine landed in Przewodów and killed 2 men. And can I just say, I didn't play it, even though I know that most of you know. Our previous president, Andrzej Dudu, like Lukashenko calls him, he admitted in one of the interviews that he in a way knew it was fired from Ukraine, that was the rocket coming from Ukraine, but Zelensky called him and was insisting on dragging Poland into the war with Russia. Okay, he knew it. He actually admitted in the interview. And they are still playing the same old used cards that no one is buying. So Poland is reluctant to conduct a proper investigation of the incident. Why? Analysts suggest facts might emerge that undermine Brussels' anti-Russian narrative. Kolchin compared the situation to Europe's response to the Nord Stream blast. Yep. European states showed little interest in finding the real culprits there too. So if they don't want to find it, they are behind it. Nice rhyme, huh? After the alleged incident, France deployed what's the name? Rafale fighter jets in Poland airbase. Believe it or not. Such a good friends, huh? France's engagement in the alliance's effort to bolster deterrence, Air Force said. Amazing. And this guy who is, this is the French foreign minister. I never heard of him, but here we go. Jean-Noël Barrot. He said, intentional or not, accidental or not, all of this is very serious. All of this is absolutely unacceptable. All of this to the countless provocation by Vladimir Putin, who would like to make it seem as if Europeans are the warmongers while he allows incursions into the territory of European countries, right? We have responded with strength. I mean, you, France, responded with strength. I want to tell you that when Polish as well as Dutch and Italian planes, oh my God, mon Dieu, shot down drones a few dozen kilometers into Polish territory, it is a very strong reaction. He really believes in what he's saying. You can see like this one actually believes in what he's saying, like his body language tells. And the decision of the President of the Republic demonstrates our intention to not allow ourselves to be intimidated. So either he really believes because it looks like, or he's so well brainwashed that he really became this message. He believes it. So let's go to, let me just take you to Mark Rutte, what he had to say. Just few words.
What this shows is that we...
One moment, I have to mute myself. He tells us what it shows.
will defend every inch of NATO territory, every inch of Allied territory, all 32 allies. And whatever the intent was behind this, yes or no, and whether it was a mistake or not, we are still looking into that. It was reckless, it was unacceptable. These are Russian drones, and it is extremely serious what happened last Wednesday. So obviously, we would not be sitting here like this if then NATO would not immediately come into action and defend every inch of territory. This Allied territory is exactly what we have done. And in the end, it's up to Russia how far they will take this. We will defend ourselves. This is about the eastern flank, because here is a direct threat to the eastern flank from, for example, drones or whatever could threaten our allies on the eastern flank. But more generally speaking, you know, I don't like that whole eastern flank thinking because it gives the impression that if I live in Madrid or in London, I'm safer than when I live in Tallinn. And that's not true, because these latest Russian missiles, when they will be launched, they come down with 5 times the speed of sound. And they will take 5 or 10 minutes longer to reach Madrid or London than they take to reach Tallinn or Vilnius. So in that sense, let's agree that within this alliance of 32 countries, we all live on the eastern flank.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the only truth that man spoken, that you cannot feel safe in London or Madrid. You know why I'm laughing? I tell you why I'm laughing. Because this is becoming so ridiculous. You have to laugh at this. This is becoming so pathetic and so repetitive at this point that if they would be creative, they would come up with something else. And I have to say, I am still processing this horrible situation and death of Charlie Kirk. Okay, so I'm still in this mode of really trying to understand or figure out who is behind it, which I'm kind of getting some sense of it and some information about it. Today, Monday, I think Candice Owen, who you know was very close with Charlie, she will be doing live, and I will be definitely watching. Will be interesting to see what she has gathered. Number of links and information there. But what I want to go back to what I want to say about this. Unfortunately for them, with this entire drone story, something of that horrific scale took place, the death of Charlie, how he was killed and how this happened, that the attention of people went so much there. So now the question is, are there the same forces, which I think they are, that have created both the assassination as well as the drone situation? And if so, well, maybe not exactly the same executive branch, but when you take the roads from both of those, so those who ordered to kill Charlie and those who ordered to do the drone situation, the headquarters are the same. It's just the timing. It was unfortunately there would be more attention to it if they would spread those events, right? And I'm being sarcastic, and you know, I have to say, after he's dead, Charlie's dead, I have been watching so many videos with him, and now actually I really appreciate I appreciated before, but now I really have deeper understanding and even more appreciation for what kind of person he was and what he was doing. Usually that's how it is in life. When you lose someone, then you appreciate them more, right? But just think about it. Think about the timing. So let's go to this headquarters, or part of it. Let's go to London. Let's go to the UK, and let's take a listen to a very interesting video I just came across about the fake King Charles. Because if you think this man, well, there will be a real Prince Charles talking in the parliament while back. But then you see the one who is now presenting himself as King Charles. And guys, please, like, and I know you think this is like going crazy or conspiracy. No, it's not. Okay, it's not. A lot of people that we are witnessing, including Trump and Putin has quite a number of doubles. As I'm seeing this right now, I have to tell you, at least I recognize one all the time. Okay, so he uses him a lot, but this is not King Charles. I don't know who this is. I don't know what kind of actor, what mask is on the face. But let's take a listen how crazy this whole situation is, and how, I don't know, those people who still believe in this monarchy and this demonic institution, they will be suffering big time when the truth will be coming out. So what is he doing with his farming, as well as with his beliefs? Not just for him, but for his country.
Something has just come to light about King Charles that will leave many in Britain furious. It's tied to his own food company, and once again, it raises serious questions about where his loyalties truly lie. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. It's now been revealed that King Charles III's very own food company, Ducci, has been using halal slaughtering processes. That's right, products sold under the King's brand are tied to Islamic ritual slaughter. Now, let's be clear, this isn't some minor issue. Halal slaughter involves cutting the throat of the animal while prayers are recited. And for millions of British people who expect transparency in food production, this revelation is nothing short of disgraceful. Customers buying from Ducci products under the belief they were supporting traditional British farming are instead funding practices rooted in Islamic law. And this raises the bigger question: why does our king keep bowing to Islam? Charles has a long track record here. For decades, he's spoken warmly about Islam, publicly praising Sharia principles, and even calling Islam one of the greatest treasuries of spiritual wisdom. Time and again, he's chosen to align himself with Islamic causes, while ordinary British citizens feel their own culture, heritage, and traditions being sidelined. This is King Charles of England in 1993.
Islam is part of our past and our present in all fields of human endeavor. It has helped to create modern Europe. It is part of our own inheritance, not a thing apart. Islam can teach us today a way of understanding and living in the world which Christianity itself is the poorer for having lost. Our judgment of Islam has been grossly distorted by taking the extremes to be the norm. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a serious mistake. It is like judging the quality of life in Britain by the existence of murder and rape, child abuse, drug addiction. The extremes do exist and they must be dealt with, but when used as a basis to judge a society, they lead to distortion and unfairness. We in the West need also, I think, to understand the Islamic world's view of us. There is nothing to be gained and much harm to be done, it seems to me, by refusing to comprehend the extent to which many people in the Islamic world genuinely fear our own Western materialism and mass culture as a deadly challenge to their Islamic culture and way of life. The fact is that our form of materialism can be offensive to devout Muslims, and I do not just mean the extremists among them.
This is him during Ramadan.
As the Quran says, God does not burden any soul with more than it can bear. We hope that you have a blessed and fulfilling Ramadan. Peace be upon you all.
I will continue this video, but tell me, who is this? And you really think this is Charles? Okay. By the way, didn't he say in the parliament that was the real Charles? What a statement, that Islamic people or Islam can be offended by the level of materialism, right? In the West, I'm paraphrasing. So why he didn't give it all up and just donate everything? Just right, don't you think? Let's continue with this.
Ramadan Mubarak. As Muslims across the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth observe the beginning of the holiest of months in the Islamic calendar, the month of Ramadan, I just wanted to convey my heartfelt best wishes to you all and to tell you just how much my wife and I are thinking of you at this special time of year. Because this would have been a joyous time. Mosques would be filling with life. Muslim families would be coming together to share food and prayers, and many of them would be inviting their neighbors and friends of all faiths and none to join them. My wife and I can only offer you all our kindest and most special wishes and stress just how greatly the contribution of Muslims to the life of the United Kingdom is appreciated and valued, embodying the Ramadan spirit of charity and selflessness. As the Quran says, God does not burden any soul with more than it can bear. We hope that you have a blessed and fulfilling Ramadan. Peace be upon you all.
This is supposed to be the King of the United Kingdom, a monarch whose loyalty should be to the people, the culture, and the values of this nation. Yet, with every passing year, Charles seems more and more willing to embrace and promote practices that have no roots in Britain's Christian heritage. And it makes you wonder, where do his loyalties truly lie? Because if the crown is meant to represent the people, our history, and our traditions, then why are we seeing decisions that directly undermine them? Why are our institutions bending over backwards to accommodate practices that most of the country never asked for? This is about far more than one food label. It's about trust, it's about identity, and it's about a monarchy that increasingly looks detached from the people it claims to represent. The truth is, Charles has been in bed with Islam for decades now, and this latest revelation is just another reminder that our monarchy is not standing firmly for the British people, but pandering to outside pressures. And the British public has every right to be furious. In other news,
so before I close this window, thank you, British Stand. Great channel, guys. You might be interested in watching it. Here are a few thoughts. In my opinion, they have created all those religions. They took Christianity, Orthodox Christianity. They created religions from that. So from the good, they created twisted versions of it. They created all those religions, like in a nutshell, to divide people. That's what they have done. Because that is the easiest way to gain power and control. You divide people into religions, into belief systems. You put the boot on their face, and you control them. And this is absolutely what I think took place. And I am not, I feel, you know, we all have been for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years, but I would say hundreds, we have been living under that structure that the same headquarters have created to divide and conquer. And the only solution to it is for people to wake up and come together and put aside, which is really hard, all those belief systems that divide them. And this is the case because people identify themselves by the religion, by the belief system, by this, by that. And that is the easiest way to be manipulated. So In a way, you have to be reborn again completely. And you have to change your way of thinking. So everything you used to believe was true, you have to make peace with it, that 99.9% of it was an illusion, it was fake, it was lies, and you were living in that lie for a very long time. That's all I have for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. The links will be attached down below in the description box. Hit the thumbs up if you appreciate the video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, free of charge. If you don't know yet, you don't pay anything for it. But if you choose to support me, the best way is to donate on PayPal, become my Patreon monthly supporter or local supporter. And that's all for today. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye, guys.